Hi, this is the first video for the new DIY Pyro-mag fire starter kit. This fire starter kit will make 2 Pyro-mag fire starters. The first thing we're going to do is take a blank out of the kit. This is the handle blank and it comes pre-drilled with the proper hole in the end. You're going to use a 5/8 inch drive center. My lathe takes a Morse taper number 2. And I also use a live center with a 60-degree point, and that will fit right into the pre-drilled hole nicely. So here we're just marking the center. This is where we're going to part the 2 pieces so that you can make 2 handles out of this one blank. I use a 1/8 inch parting tool. This is made by Thompson Tools. Very, very good wood lathe tools. Here we're going to part the blank down until it's round. So you're going to take the corners off all the way down until you see the blank become round, and then stop. At this time I'll take a 1/2 inch gouge, and I'm going to take the corners off of the blank and take the entire blank round. You can also use a skew chisel here to turn these down. It's just whatever you're comfortable with. Now here I'm using a 1 inch flat scraper, and I am going to bevel the ends and flatten off the surface. You can now see the profiles of the 2 handles. Again, grab your parting tool and part the 2 handles down till you get probably about a 1/4 of an inch holding the 2 pieces together. So now we're going to set up to part the 2 pieces and drill the second hole in the second handle. Here I use a Vicmark adjustable chuck. If you notice, it's got long nose jaws on it, and the long nose jaws really give it the ability to gives you a lot of room to turn. I have a little trick with my long nose jaws, because if you put the wood blank into the jaws themselves, it's very strong, and what they'll end up doing is marking the wood. So what I do is I take some cut pieces of vinyl hose, and then I put a piece of that vinyl hose on the end of each one of the jaws, so that when you do tighten up the jaws onto the blank, it will leave no marks whatsoever. Bring the tailstock back up to center the piece. So at this point we want to split the two pieces. So I use a fine tooth Japanese saw here. Works really, really well, cuts fast. It only takes a few swipes, but I usually twist the shaft around while I'm sawing. And right before you get it split, move the tailstock back just a touch in order to loosen it, but not for the entire piece to drop off. That gives you two handles. Now we're going to drill the first hole. I use a 5/8 inch drill bit. If you can see here, the drill bits that I use, I have them with a Morse taper number 2. That way I don't have to use a drill chuck. But if you don't have these types of drill bits, go ahead and use a drill chuck. It works just as well. Now here you want to drill your hole 3/4 of an inch to 7/8 of an inch deep. And this is going to house the magnesium bar. Then take your flat scraper and clean the end up. I don't do a lot of sanding, but when I do, I use a 120 grit, and I just give it a light sanding on some of the edges. As you notice, there are no marks. So now we're going to drill the other end, and this is the end that accepts the top. So there's going to be 2 holes drilled. So here all I'm doing is centering the piece. So take your 5/8 inch drill bit again, and here you want to drill a 1 inch deep hole. Now this one has a secondary hole. This holds the top, and the first hole you drilled will house the tapered tenon on the top piece. The second hole that we're going to drill right here, which is 11/32 drill bit, is going to house the cutter part of the top. And here you also want to drill it about 1 inch deep. So you're bottoming the drill bit out, you drill 1 inch, and then take the drill bit out of the hole. Take your flat scraper again and now clean the end up. Be creative with it. You can put any profile you want on this. You just want the holes to be able to fit the top. In the next video, which is video number 2, making the top, we'll go through that whole process, and that's what fits into this piece. As you can see, it's a 2-tiered hole. So you've turned your 2 handles. This is the magnesium bar that the kit comes with. You get 2 of these pieces for each of the handles, and this just shows you how it goes together. Thank you, folks. If there's any questions, just go to the website and contact me.